Hello, welcome to successfultradings.com. In today's video, we are going to share how TradingView chart study led to capturing gains in a put option example. By the end of this video, we are going to learn about how to use TradingView daily charts for chart study, how to use after our study in a ER scenario, and how to use pre-market study in order to get a potential direction for the live session trading. Without any further ado, let us go ahead and get started. So the chart that's led to this trade is the chart of Amazon. So here is the daily chart of Amazon on here on my TradingView. As you know, so Amazon has a all-time high, I believe, of about $2,000.50. I'm reading it off of this open high low here on the top. So the earning release was on Thursday after the market closed. So with that knowledge and looking at this chart, you were to expect that, okay, if Amazon were to blow up the earning, really potentially it could be testing this this resistance. Remember, again, it's about resistance and support. In really, that's basic training, chart reading 101. So here we had back in all the way back in September the 4th 2018 high of 2050. That's important. Keep that in mind. It will come back later into into consideration. Then here we had July 11, 2019, a high of $2,000.35 and 80 cents. Okay, $35.80 rather. So what happened? Then we recorded this knowledge prior to knowing that, hey, Amazon usually have some volatility or great volatility. We did not trade before the earning release. I have actually a story about this by the very end. I will come back to that. So in any case, we had that knowledge. So what happened then? In order for us to study the pre-market, let's just bring another chart here from my trading platform, eTrade. So very quickly here. So this candle here. I'm using 15-minute candles on here. This candle was after the market closed on Thursday, January the 30th. So Amazon, within the first 30 minutes, the first two 15-minute candle, it posted a high of $2,133. So it was very interesting to me because at the time I just made a mental note that, okay, Amazon is up about over 13%. So I wanted to see if this action was going to be sustained. And immediately within the next few hours, you don't need to monitor this. I mean, you can look at this later on. I mean, after you are done with your trading session, you can look at this in the evening or anything. The chart is available, the after hours is available to you. So that's what I did. So for me, I noticed that Amazon could not sustain this high value above 2100. If anything, actually, it faded all the way throughout the after hours to close about, what's the closing price? I'm reading off of here as usual. So that closing price here was 2053. 2053. Mind you, earlier on we said that the previous high back in 2018, September 4th, was 2055. Here's Amazon closing after hours at 2053. Okay, so that's study number 2. We have studied the chart, the daily chart from TradingView, and we saw that all-time high of 2055. Then here, the close on after this blowout earning release, Amazon is closing at 2053 after hours. What will happen the next day? The next day, actually no, that's incorrect. Yeah, this is 2053 here. This is here. So in pre-market on the 31st of January, so pre-market starts at 7 Eastern. That's the one I'm looking at right now. So this very candle here, Amazon opened 2044, then went as high as 2067. It start now drifting a little bit up. It went to $2,085 about 8 a.m. Eastern time. But we know those pre-markets, even after earnings, they are really amateurs hours. That's how most traders call them. So we waited to see what will happen when the big boys start putting in orders about 5:30, 8:30 radar Eastern time, and then 9. So what happened between 9 and 9:30, the last 30 minutes before the session opened? Amazon actually could not sustain prices above 2080. So here we were with this setup. So with this knowledge here after earnings, the after hours, with this knowledge in the pre-market, along with the fact that the TradingView chart study told us that 2055 was really the last time that it went that high. So we here were at the open, our mindset was that, okay, we are looking for Amazon to be drifting. So the question is, did Amazon do that? So for that, let us go ahead and use our replay button here. So I set up the replay button to start giving us the candles by interval of 5 minutes, maybe not. So we're gonna go maybe yeah, 5 minutes good. Yeah, 5 minutes good. Let's leave it at 5 minutes. So every 2 seconds we're gonna get a candle starting exactly at the open and see how Amazon traded. It will take maybe 2 minutes max to get us through. So that's not big at all. Actually, I can even make it faster, maybe every one update every 1 second. So let's go ahead and just play it. So as you know now with the replay of TradingView. So here we go. Here's Amazon after opening. Within the first 15 minutes, it went and posted a low of that low here is moving a little bit fast, but it's about $2,002. We can see that here. And then here's Amazon doing sideways, pretty much sideways action on here. So there is no trade, a conviction on terms of day trade as of now. So my idea here was, let me stop this maybe. My idea here, after all of this sideways, being patient, here we are, it's 920. Amazon really still, because this price movement, let's say 20, if you were to short it here from the get-go, I mean, not knowing the direction, very difficult. But here are some elements that for people who could have shorted it here from the open, right? It's outside of the Bollinger Band on the daily. On the daily, we know that clearly, obviously, right? On the daily, look at it. The Bollinger Band, I'm reading them here. The upper Bollinger Band are here. So on this daily, 1952, 1952. So it's trading at 2000, at the 2055 open, way outside of the Bollinger Band. The RSI, the relative signal strength, is very hot. Are we not asking for that? But in any case, how do we get that? We get that here on. It's interesting that I don't have the RSI. That's fine. But in any case, here we can read it here. Here you can read the RSI here. It's 94. It's not being displayed. I'm not sure why. Okay, let me ask it again. So it's not being displayed, but it's 94. It's super hot. Outside of the Bollinger, so definitely a short type of trade. But look at this. Over 3 hours have passed by. The market opened at 9:30. This here, my time is being shown in Pacific time, as usual. 6:30 is 9:30 Eastern. So here, 3 hours later, it has barely drifted by 20 points. You could have made some money on there, but that's not the trade that's for us we got. But here at this point, though, we figure that, hey, the direction is really clear, but instead of trading daily, we were going to do a trade that will be expiring the following week, meaning that kind of a swing trade, but depending on the outcome of the trade, we were to actually determine either we were going to close our position or not. So that's what we did. So the trade that we took, we can go to it here, about 9:25, this which is 12:25 my time. So exactly where I stopped the video, thereabouts. So here's 9:20, the next candle, that's where I took my trade. And I'm using February 7, 1900 puts. And let's see how Amazon traded afterwards. So now Amazon trades drifting back 20, 30, 30, but it's still doing kind of a sideways really, because Look at it. 2 points up. Okay. Now we have some direction. We have clear confirmation of a direction, but it's coming back. During all of this, the market SPY and QQQ, they're both red. They're losing over 1%, both those indices, but Amazon is still very strong. So I'm staying in my trade because I have no pressure. It's expiring next Friday, February 7th. So dropping below the exponential moving average was really a sign of confidence for me. So overall, I ended up selling Amazon. Where did I sell Amazon? I think I sold Amazon on this candle, 12.35. Is that true? Let's go back and check my exit. So 9:25 is 12:25 p.m. Eastern time. So my 12:36 on here is actually 3:36 p.m. Eastern time. So on my TradingView, the time it matches my email. So when you see here that, hey, I bought my call, my single call, you know the budget I allocate for this training example, it was 296, so 2.96 per contract. I took a single contract and then I sold it how many? Exactly 3 hours later, and I sold it at 5:30. We can go to and take a look at that put here. This is the Amazon February 7, 1900 put. This is how it traded overall. So I took the trade at 12 something at 296. So you read it here. So 12:30 thereabout, and I sold it. Each one of these candles 30 minutes. I sold it 12:36 somewhere. The last candle on there at $5.30. So let's see, as usual, let's calculate in 3 hours what's the percentage gain that was gathered out of this trade minus 2.96. Okay, divided by 2.96, just shy of $100. So 79%, 79% or 79 over 200 and just over $230, $234. So gain on the trade with a 79% profit on this trade. So I took that profit on there in this showcasing another put option example using TradingView chart and studying after hours and pre-market. So earlier I mentioned that one of my subscribers on here who is becoming more and more famous these days actually traded Amazon before earnings, and I will let you know that that gentleman actually he traded calls and he made bank literally. He won 2 contracts on 2,000 calls. Since Amazon opened at 2,055, he was well in the money, and implied volatility did not bite him at all. He was able to sell his call for a good for a good change. I think he made close to 10K on 2 contracts that he bought at each at maybe $300 or so. So congratulations to you, my friend, for in New York. Ali, you're on a roll, my friend. So we hope that this video provided you great content that you are able to leverage in improving your trading. We are looking forward to showcasing other examples of put option example with TradingView setups that we use on here. Thank you very much for your time and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to successfultradings.com. In today's video, we are going to share how trading